We're going to start. Oh, and here we go. It seems like we have a little technical difficulty here, but it just resolved itself. Starting again, introducing everybody here with the Gamers at Large podcast, Gamers at Large podcast, starting over here from my left, a man who needs little to no introduction, Starman here.
What's up, people? Starman here, aka CKaz. First podcast, so take it easy. And I'm over here from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, come on, you from Brooklyn. Nobody ever takes it easy over there, man.
That's true, that's true.
They take it however they can get it. You know that.
That's right.
All right, and now we got over here the little me that could, a.k.a. Thumbprint when he's of the mind, otherwise known as Mr. Butterworth.
Yep, Jamie Butterworth, no relation. I'm not getting any part of that sticky fortune, but currently have my head stuck in Wind Waker HD. That's what I'm doing right now.
I'm upset.
Oh Lord! You're hating on that fact that he got himself his hands on that, huh?
Yep, I gotta wait to the Friday to get that physical copy.
Okay, and up next we got here our boy Gamer Nate 78.
What's up, everybody? It's Gamer Nate 78. How y'all doing?
Alrighty, and he's getting his cowboy on. And up next we got the Fox in the Shadows lurking.
What's going on? This Shadow Fox, the real Shadow Fox Prime, purevideogames.net. You know me, I'm here.
And of course, the guy who always keeps it calm when keeping it gaming is the Zen Gamer.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Zen Gamer here, once again, joining the Gamers at Large podcast. Let's do this.
And of course, here you got yours truly, Quan Manchu, aka QMC, aka Quan, aka Never Late for Dinner.
I think I can take that name too.
There you go. I guess a few of us can take that name over here. All right, now let's get this started. We're gonna let our guest, who hopefully will probably be a permanent addition. You know what I'm saying? Hint, hint, Starman, hint, hint. To get the first dibs on what topic would you like to bring to the table for us to discuss this evening?
One thing I was actually thinking about last week, actually while watching the previous episodes, with Nintendo, what's with the marketing? Like
the marketing?
Yeah, they're like just terrible. Like when the Wii U came out, like no commercials, no billboards, no ads, no nothing. Like it's just. Like, they totally forgot about the Wii U with that. Like, look at GTA 5. They spent millions and millions of dollars on that.
Hey, that's a legitimate complaint.
Just for a single game. And with a system coming out, like, they did nothing with it.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to have a marketing blitz after this fall update that's coming, and that one is rumored to be very soon. For all we know, tomorrow, because it's an extended system update. Emily Rogers said something to the effect that there was supposed to be the update coming very soon. So that could be a strong possibility. They're waiting to come out swinging when they got, all their best, firmware under wraps first. You know what I'm saying? You never know, but
it's possible.
Yeah, but I will. Go ahead.
No, but the thing is, like, I don't know, I just see it as when a new system comes out, like, especially the new PS4s coming out in the one. That they should be strong, especially on their marketing side with it. Like even with the Wii, I don't think they marketed it too highly either. But it's so good, thank God. But with the Wii itself, they just didn't drive enough commercials, enough ads. In my personal, the other companies.
Okay, hold on a second. I just got 2 messages. Give me a second here. Ooh, ouch. Oh, news for when we get off the podcast. Interesting news I'm gonna share with you guys, but I can't share it on air. But ouch, you're gonna love this one. But anyway, I'll touch on this later. But bombs are gonna be dropped soon. That's all I gotta say.
Uh,
Oh Lord, interesting YouTube news.
Oh boy.
You didn't even have to say that. As soon as I heard it, bomb's gonna drop, I knew it was YouTube.
Yeah.
Fucking all good YouTube.
But like I said, though, what do you guys weigh in on this whole advertisement thing? And try to watch your feedbacks, your levels, guys.
I mean, Nintendo has always had a problem with advertising. They usually go by word of mouth, unfortunately, and maybe a little bit of online advertising and advertising to customers they already have, but not so much to the general public. And I think it's a real problem, especially with the Wii U as it is, because they haven't done a very good job of communicating to the average person exactly what the Wii U is, and people unfortunately still think it's just a controller for the Wii, and that's a big issue.
Yeah, they just, I don't know, I think they dropped the ball with that. And another thing also, I mean, to me, the name, I think, really hurt them as well. I'm not saying the name change would change the sales that much, but they should have named it its own unique name for the system instead of just like putting a U after the Wii. I mean, I think that confused the consumers that already had the Wii, and the general public had no idea what was going on because there was no ads for it, and no idea what they were buying really.
Right. I mean, they should have gone with the Wii 2. That would have been a hell of a lot smarter.
Too.
You know what the thing is, though? They could play off the whole U advertisement by adding things like Wii Upgrade, Wii Ultimate, Wii Unlimited, Wii Unique, Wii, they could come up with a whole ad campaign that sits up here and focuses on what the letter U can mean.
Holy crap, Quan. That's a hell of a good idea.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, but I think what they were doing they knew the sales for the Wii was so good. They're like, you know what? Let's keep the name and let's see if those sales drive up because it's a Wii product. That's where I think they were going, but they failed miserably on that.
Go ahead, Nate.
First, I'd like to know how. The thing is how much advertising is happening in Japan versus America. I'm starting to wonder if the way that advertising is in America that's being throttled and held back by Nintendo Japan, which is something I've been wanting, this podcast, but sometimes I think Nintendo Japan.
Nate, your mic is cutting in and out. Nate, your mic.
What's he doing?
Alright, I'll go in the meantime then, while he gets that fixed.
Hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I was just trying to say I wonder
great.
if Nintendo of Japan is holding back advertisement from America to their own detriment. I'd like to know what is the frequency of advertising in Japan versus America.
Well, from what I've seen on Nintendo Domination, Japan's been getting the advertisement blitz compared to us.
Nothing.
It even seems the UK is getting a lot more advertising than us.
So then what the hell's the problem? I mean, is Iwata just, got his head up his ass or something? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. I remember as a kid when I was like, not young, but like 15, 20, Zelda was always on commercials, all their games, everything. Like I always saw a Nintendo commercial when I was young. Now it's like dead. It's like nothing. Not even 3DS. I really don't see anything for it either.
I mean, I'll admit, I was as shocked in the latest Game Informer to see at least 4 pages dedicated to Zelda's Wind Waker HD in a bundle. I mean, 4 or 5 pages were dedicated. I was shocked. I was like, why don't they do this more often?
I don't know. They're advertising the shit out of Pokemon X and Y. I've seen 6 of them already on TV.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They advertise the hell out of 3DS, but they don't do anything for Wii U hardly.
3DS needs no help, and it needs no more introduction. It's already gone far enough as far as this can go.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It makes me feel like Nintendo doesn't even have faith in their own system. I mean, I have faith in it. I know it's a great system, and I know it can be a damn good system if developers just quit doing their stuff and support it. But the way Nintendo's doing on their advertisement for the Wii U, it makes me feel like that they don't have faith in it,
I think it's less of an whether or not they have faith in it, and more that they seem to believe that their YouTube presence and their online presence, their advertisements in the eShop, they think that's enough, but obviously it isn't. My solution to it would simply just bring the European ads and the Japanese ads over to North America and just redub them.
Oh, dude, if not, play the whole kitsch factor behind it all. Make them intentionally look like they're dubbed. Oh,
Okay.
no, think about it. The whole overdub thing, make it look like, one of those like kung fu movie type deals. That
Hmm.
might come off a little bit offensive to some, but I think if they go for it and play it right, a little tongue in cheek with a little humor, it'll work.
Maybe.
Yeah, they just need to. I don't know. I just even now with the systems out, I mean, they can start doing the ads now. Especially with Wind Waker came out, they should have added with the bundle and everything. Like, I mean, I didn't see any Wind Waker commercials either. I believe. I don't even know if they have any. To tell you the truth,
Mm.
that's
Well,
the go-to game right now.
part of the problem also lands on the retail market. I mean, now there's two different shops in the UK that have completely either stripped Nintendo from their store or have lowered the amount of coverage wall space. I remember reading this article last week. It came across my Google Google alerts, but
Asda?
not Asda, but one of the other major
Tesco.
yeah, that one. They ended up. I mean, you go into their store, it's got like maybe a 4x4 wall space with barely any games for either 3DS or Wii U.
But concerning Tesco, there was recently announced something. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tesco was the one that announced a recent type of partnership going on with Nintendo to increase advertisement, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
they just did something like that. I was
Yeah, well, they've reneged on it because they've lowered the shelf space for Nintendo down to just about nothing.
No, I'm talking about recent as far as this week.
Yeah, I think Nintendo probably noticed what Tesco was doing and decided to go in with a partnership with them in response. Perhaps that's the order in which these events took place. I don't know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm looking over here. It's an article from 2 days ago on Wii U Daily talking about some of the Nintendo UK teams up with Tesco to increase awareness. Yeah, so yeah, they're changing it. They're doing a turnaround. But as far as sitting up here and making a huge deal about Asda, Tesco, and all that, you do realize that they're mostly supermarkets, right?
Yep.
They're not really electronic specialty stores. So that's like saying that, oh my God, Pathmark, ShopRite, Piggly Wiggly, they're not selling Wii U's.
Yeah, but see, the deal is, in the UK, I think, wasn't it one of their major video game retailers went out of business about a year ago or 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the video game stuff is bought in the supermarkets over there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like Tesco's kind of like a Walmart sort of entity.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're sort of like a mix between that as well as a like I said, a supermarket dealie. It's like a hybrid. But like I said, I wouldn't really go cry a river over it. Now, if it was some place like, let's say, Babbage's, if they're still around and whatnot, or let's say Best Buy was something to say, well, you know what? Screw you, Nintendo, I'm going home. Then I'd be like, okay, then something's definitely wrong. But a supermarket?
For all intents and purposes, GameStop's guilty of this right now. Have you been into your local GameStop lately?
Yeah, but then again,
They got a half a wall space for Nintendo, and the rest of it's Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, I know. Even in my neighborhood, it's like that too.
yeah, but they hire fanboys. I already know that. Forget it. Let's just be
Bingo.
honest here. They hire fanboys. As soon as you go in, whatever somebody cheerleads, that's who they hire. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. If they cheerlead for Sony or Microsoft, they hire them. You hardly see anybody tell you anything about even the Nintendo Wii when that thing was dominating.
Very true.
So yeah, I wouldn't go by that. Trust me,
Well,
GameStop
personally,
is the last example to go for.
Quan, I've told you this before. I wish Nintendo would take their Nintendo World Store like they got there where you live at,
Mm-hmm.
expand that across the nation.
They
They should take an Apple approach and put a Nintendo World Store in every major city.
Oh, I'd agree there. That I would agree with. If they sat up there and did something to that effect, or at least or at least represent, like let's say a West Coast branch, an East Coast. They already have it covered. One down south. You know what I'm saying? Something like that approach. Something like regional stores. Even if it's not going to be like in every state or something, at least in every region.
Well, see, in Texas, you could have 3 of them: Austin, Houston, and Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah, of course you'd like that.
Well, every state has at least 2 to 3 major metropolitan areas of just about, except for maybe up in the Northwest. But
well, we got Portland.
you get what I'm saying, though, man. I mean, Nintendo did that. That would get their coverage out more, and then they could advertise in those local markets for people to come to the Nintendo World Store.
No, I can kind of see that. Another thing that I would recommend they start doing is that Nintendo start bringing out their exclusives into their own Nintendo World Store as well, instead of through places like GameStop. This way, when people want a copy of Xenoblade, they don't have to go to GameStop and pay $80 a copy, $70 a copy.
Yep.
Ridiculous prices too.
Exactly.
Or Nintendo could just release Xenoblade on the eShop.
Oh God, yes.
That'd be nice.
Now let's get back on to the next subject. Let's see who's going to go. Mr. Butterworth, do you have anything for us?
I do, actually. All right. This past week, Shuhei Yoshida, president of Sony Computer Entertainment, said that they're actually looking at transitioning from the PlayStation to it being more of a service than a console. Now, my question is, does this sort of usher in the end of consoles? As in, do you think that the Wii U, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One will be the last physical home consoles?
That's interesting. I think that if they play up the whole collectability of games and start making, added incentive for collecting them by adding things such as books, like what they did with the classic Earthbound when it first came out, not so much. But judging from what the quality has been going as far as games in the mainstream, I could kind of see this veering in that direction. Because, like I said, let's face it, most of the games that you see now, quality-wise, have gone downhill.
Agreed. I mean, like, I'm sitting here playing Wind Waker right now, and this game has not only held up incredibly well, but with the changes they've made, it feels like an entirely new game to me. And I played the hell out of this back in 2003.
I'll give you my take on it. I think that eventually, yes, within the next 10 years, you're going to see Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft go to a basically like a third-party based service, and this is the reason why. Game production die high. Okay. If they was to try to bring out another console in 10 years, Sony and Microsoft especially, you're looking at what's already going to be absolutely beautiful graphics.
Nate, your mic.
You're looking at hitting what's already beautiful graphics, trying to top those. You're hitting that law of diminishing returns, okay? And in order for the gaming industry, I think in order for it to survive, that within 10 years' time, people are going to have to realize, because by that time, building a PC, which this will roll into my topic later, but it'll be a whole lot cheaper. And if PC developers just had to make it for one platform, meaning PC or a Steam box or whatever, then they could be able to cut costs at a huge margin and be able to survive as game makers and publishers and developers.
But the thing is, as far as like making gaming a streaming service, I don't know if people will bite because, I mean, first of all, in order to make it equitable, in order to make it fair across every single region, you would have to assume that the network connection, if they're going to do it through cloud gaming, would have to be on equal terms, and that's simply not the case. Because come on now, if it was brought by someone else on one of on my cloud gaming video that cloud gaming won't work here in the U.S. as it stands right now, considering that the U.S.'s market for internet is a little bit too good here, too bad there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, our internet in this country is literally considered third world, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
not that it says it has to be cloud-based, okay? They could take a Steam approach. You could have PlayStation form of Steam. You could have an Xbox form of Steam and a Nintendo form of Steam. And all three services, you would get them right there on your home computer. With the technology getting cheaper and cheaper in the home computer market, it's ridiculous. It's to the point now that that they're not going to be able to do a console that can match what can be done for less.
I don't know. It just depends on what approach they go by. I could see something like Nintendo going into a deeper partnership with IBM and then pushing a way more advanced version of the power processor. Like I was looking at the Power 8, and let's be honest now, what they're doing with the Power 8 now, and they're actually adding native support for GDR4. By the way, I was just looking that up, and yeah. I could see them going that route for their next console should they decide to do one in a 6-year time frame, which is what I'm thinking. I'm going to call it here and now. I got a feeling Nintendo's going to be within 5-6 years making a new console, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're going Power 8.
Well, that makes total sense.
But yeah, getting back to what you saying that costs are coming down and they could go for a Steam service. Okay, the problem with that is this. Okay, it will only succeed if there's enough first-party IPs, because nobody's going to sit up here and basically like buy third-party off of several different services at a time. That would be redundant, especially if you're doing it through a PC. Nintendo would be the only one that stands anything to gain by doing that, because they have a ton of first-party IPs under their umbrella.
Well, no, I would call Sony as second. They're second place when it comes to first party. But if you look at it like this, if they wasn't having to invest all the money into hardware, and keep pushing out systems, if they could take all that R&D money, all that money spent on buying processor and GPUs and hard drives and motherboards and shell casings for the case, all that. If they were able to take all that money and put it into making games for their brand, meaning Microsoft could be able to make better Alan Wakes, better Halos. They could bring out new IPs. Sony could be able to put all their money into their IPs and make them even better. Nintendo could take all their money and make them into new, into better IPs, new IPs. And nothing stops these companies from coming out with peripherals for the computer to be able to give a different experience while still all three being on the same hardware. Does that make sense to you?
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that I don't know. I think I'm a little bit too comfortable with the console idea. I'm not exactly married to the thought of a streaming service / downloadable service just yet. I mean, the market's already saturated, and we already had companies like GameTap and GameFly put in their hat into the ring with this whole entire thing. You got Uplay with Ubisoft trying to pick up steam with their service. You're going to see too many of these fly-by-night services coming up here, fading in, fading out, that it's going to get beyond ridiculous. The cool thing about having consoles, to be honest with you, is basically having one dedicated system where you odds are can find certain genres of games and then can go through, getting your favorites on that particular platform. You know what I'm saying? Like me, if I want Last of Us, if I want my Uncharted, if I want Infamous, if I want whatever like that, guaranteed I'm going to find it on my PlayStation gaming console. If I want my Marios, I want my Zeldas, I want my Metroids, I want, anything of that nature, my Star Foxes, guaranteed Nintendo console. Microsoft, anyway, next subject. No.
That's mean, man. That's mean.
If you want games you can play everywhere else.
There you go.
I'm home and playing on a console.
I'm sorry.
I'm just too in love with the idea of having a physical case. I know that all digital is the future. I know that's where it's going, but you just call me a rebel. I'm just not for that,
Dude, the thing is though, have you ever sat up there and roughed it, went out in the woods, went camping or whatever. It's kind of like entertaining yourself like that. It's going old fashioned. It's nothing like, going the old fashioned route. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, that's what it is. Consoles is roughing it. It's camping. It's out in the frontier
Yep.
compared to everything right there. I mean, not to make a knock at Nintendo's try at it because the eShop's pretty decent for what it's doing. It could stand with some more sales and whatever. The only thing that I could see, believe it or not, that would be a benefit to all three of the big three when it comes to this is that they follow Nintendo's, vibe and then do some kind of like a reward system similar to what they do with Club Nintendo as an incentive to incentivize this whole entire change.
Hmm.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I think for Nintendo, if they don't produce another home console, they're going to be strictly handheld, and they're going to continue to dominate that space one way or the other. And they may even eventually work in a way to have their handheld just interact with the television and use it as a home console instead.
Mm, I could see a hybrid of a Wii U 3DS coming out the gate and just coming up with something ghetto nasty. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Nintendo's always going to try to innovate and make something. That's what these other companies, like you were saying before, with like making the systems more powerful. If the new console comes out 5 years, 10 years from now, like you can only make it a certain amount of power, graphics. That's why Nintendo, since the Wii, they're trying to change gaming the way it is with motion controls, and now with the double screen with the Wii U, having the controller as like a tablet kind of. I mean, they're going the right route, I think. They're not worrying about their competition too much. They're trying to do their own thing.
They
You
That's
just,
know,
what
they just gotta let more people know about it.
exactly. I know about it, and some of us six here. That's about it, I think.
Oh God.
you see, that's just it. Who was it that mentioned the hybrid console handheld system?
That was me.
Okay, imagine how crazy it would be if the next Nintendo console literally came with, let's say, another tablet controller, and then they announced that, boom, there's a handheld, right? You can take this thing wherever you want to go. It also plays a different medium. So when you come home and you hook it up, that's your controller, but when you're not home, that's your handheld. Now
Well,
that's, yeah.
I think that's logically where Nintendo would be going next. To be honest, I mean, with the condition of the market in general, with cell phones and tablets and everything, I mean, logically, that's probably where they're going to go next.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, but you know what? Sony, they went up them. They took a portable and turned it into a console.
They did it the reverse way. Okay.
TV. No, let's stop.
Oh man.
No, seriously though, I might get that thing for Let's Plays. The Vita TV thingy that they got, the PS Vita TV. I might get that for Let's Plays only, But yeah, that.
If they decide to bring it out here.
If they do, odds are they might.
You know, I wasn't on board with the whole Vita TV idea, but as more time goes along, I kinda could see the value of it. But you see, my problem is that this is not helping the Vita, the actual handheld, at all. They are literally cannibalizing their sales, and that is my major problem with it. I mean, all usefulness aside, that really isn't a smart business move.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, what do you think, Fox? Fox. Fox.
Sorry,
Man down, man down.
Man down.
Um, yeah, with that issue, what I'm seeing, well, first of all, the first comment that you made, Quan, I really see Nintendo going with if not Power 8, it'll be a Power 7 variant. There's really nowhere for them to go with the current architecture they have right now. They've already done a miracle, and if the rumors are true, they basically squeezed the Wii CPU and modified and added a lot of features from the 478 FP in there, which is I can't explain it. I can't explain how that was even done, how they even added all the extra registers and combined that into a CPU that also fits on the MCM with the GPU. So if they go from here, they have to go with a different processor. There's no way for them really to evolve it the way that they have already right now, unless they just do a higher clock and call it a day or add more cores, make it 6 cores or something. As far as a new architecture change, that's the only way for them to go from there. the other comment that was made regarding the cloud gaming thing, I really can see a future. Well, actually, the future is really already here because it started with Wii, the Virtual Console. I mean, that is literally like console quality emulation. It doesn't really get any better than that. All the glitches are there from the original. I'm serious. Like they literally emulated every single part of each console release they put there. I mean, if they actually decide to say, hey, you know what, we're going to expand Virtual Console to be Virtual Console Cloud or what have you, and you can play it from whatever platform you have, that would probably be the more likely thing that they would do. I don't think they would just say, hey, we're the Nintendo Cloud Initiative, and here's all these games that you could buy from us, and this is our version of Steam. It'll probably be an evolution of what we already see right now, and they'll kind of take their time like they're doing right now. I mean, just 7 years ago, they weren't even really that interested in online at all. So, I mean, they're taking their time and stepping into it and gradually doing what they need to do. But that and they have to increase their marketing. Obviously, that was the major comment from the outset of the podcast. I mean, Nintendo's been bad at it since the GameCube days. Towards the end of the GameCube, they started having a whole lot of problems. So forgive me if you hear a lot of coughing in the background here.
Well, that's okay.
That was most of the issue that I see anyway. There's no way it would really resolve where they fell off after GameCube or right towards the end of GameCube.
Okay.
I mean, you had Resident Evil 4, and there was like nothing there saying, hey, this is the game of the year, blah, 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 blah. This is the reason you should own this system. Even the Xbox can't handle running this game. Like, there was nothing there. And that was the end of the Capcom 5. So I don't,
I'm going to tell you something right now, though. Resident Evil 4 was my jam. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, not advertising it enough as they should have. That game was beast. That was the last hurrah for the Resident Evil series as far as I'm concerned until the 3DS Resident Evil came out.
I still didn't buy that game yet.
Yeah, that, what was that one? That was Revelations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Revelations is pretty good.
That was when it came back to survival horror because, I mean, let's just be honest with you. Resident Evil of Duty / Resident Evil Gears of War / blah, blah, blah / whatever they tried to sit up here and call Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, I never played that. I played 5, and you could tell that it was on its way there.
That game was an abortion.
Oh, God. Trying to be too many things from what I saw.
What, Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6?
6. Trying to
5
wear too
was
many
the hint
hats.
that 6 would be what 6 was.
Mm-hmm.
I actually played a little bit of 6. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, really?
Oh, Nate, you're generous. Capcom loves you.
That game just had an identity crisis. It didn't know what it was.
Wanted to be. Mm-hmm.
It didn't know what it wanted to be, what its audience was. It tried to be scary, but then it gave you a hell of a lot of ammo. It's like, these little retarded zombies, they can't scare me. I'm a freaking working army. What are they going to do?
What was the thing saying that they're, depending on which character you played as, that determined how the game was going to play out? They were saying, like, play as a certain character if you wanted the true Resident Evil experience.
The different campaigns had a different feel. Leon's had a more, or at least what they call a classic Resident Evil feel. I think Ada's focused more on close combat, and the guy Jake was totally Gears of War. So yeah.
The thing is, let me tell you something. Few games can pull off like genre hybridization. I'm gonna give you a classic, and this is something that Capcom needs to keep in mind the next time they want to go for it. Who remembers Lufia?
A long time ago.
Wow.
Lufia, Rise of the Sinistrals. Lufia kind of hybridized the whole turn-based active time. Yep, active time system / with Legend of Zelda puzzles, etc. Had Legend of Zelda style puzzles. Had let me see, the ability to collect pets, as it were. You had yourself different types, like an active combat system similar to Chrono Trigger, with different types of strength gauge techniques to be pulled off and whatever. It was like it was a hybrid of different RPG genres, and it pulled it off. Capcom tried to tried too hard to sit up here and blend too much into their gumbo this time with Resident Evil, and they kind of like went off. They fell off with 6.
Yep. Well, according to what they're saying now, Resident Evil 7 will be back to the survival horror, but I don't know. I've lost a lot of faith in them. So
Mm. Actually, I would love to see them take a turn over there and try to make an like a better version of Zombie U than Ubisoft made.
hmm
Give us the fear factor. Make us scared to go out at night. You know what I'm
you
saying?
see, and that's exactly why a lot of reviewers and a lot of persons who are not accustomed to true survival horror hated Zombie U. It
I don't even want.
literally, yeah.
I don't even want to get into that. I was so upset with those reviews.
Oh my God, Zombie U scares the piss out of me, and I was in the
Yeah, I'm
military.
in agreement.
Best Wii U game I played so far. I won't even lie. That game was awesome. Yeah, it had its flaws, it had its problems, but it's a first game. But the game was awesome. It really was. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing about Zombie U. I never wanted to leave a safe house. So to me, I think that it achieved what it wanted to achieve. Every time I got to a safe house, I look, can I just stay here? I don't want to go.
Dude.
Dude, you don't want to make the second one now because of their sales and because of what people said, which pisses me.
Oh, come on.
It sold
it cost a song for
500,000
them to build
copies.
that
and to
game.
me, that seems like a cop out.
Yeah, it cost a
And,
song for them to build
you
that
know,
game. I don't
it-
really think it was that much.
that actually is a good amount of sales because this is a new IP that was exclusive. So yeah,
I think they were looking for Red Steel all over again, and that didn't happen because everybody crapped on Red Steel. I thought it was okay, but it sold really well, which is it took like 4 years for them to release a sequel, but I guess that's what Ubisoft was looking for. But
But
they
you see-
should look at Red Steel 2's numbers and kind of guessed it wasn't going to be the same.
that's just it. They're not giving Zombie U a chance. Red Steel got a sequel, and its sequel was the one that truly showed what they were going after with its predecessor.
They were
So-
exact opposite. Red Steel got the commercial success, but it wasn't critically well received, and nobody could really say anything bad about Red Steel 2, but it didn't necessarily light up the charts at all.
Just more suits making bad decisions.
Pretty
Whatever.
much.
All right, now let's go over here to the next subject at hand with Gamer Nate, a.k.a. the Tanuki. Go ahead, he did it for the Tanuki.
What's up? All right, here's my topic. It's kind of with the announcement, with the two major announcements this last week, with number one, Steam OS, number two, the AMD Mantle API. To me, what this has done is, number one, it's going to make it here in the next year or two where people that are used to gaming on consoles can be able to take and get what they're calling Steam machines, which will be running Steam OS, and will utilize the Mantle API. It's almost guaranteed that that's going to be part of that. So you'll be able to have a console experience on PC-level hardware that's open, that you can upgrade, and you'll be able to get a Steam machine relatively inexpensively compared to about the same cost as what a PS4 with a couple of games, PlayStation Plus, and a controller, and what a Xbox One with a couple of games, Xbox Live, and a controller would cost. So, like I was talking to a guy earlier today, or yesterday, he was telling me, show me a $400 computer that could be able to take and compare to a PS4 or beat it, and I showed him. Still ain't got a response to him, but I was wanting to know what y'all thought about the Mantle API and how this is going to make gaming on PC so much more better because it's console level access to the GPU on PC, which is going to make it where the PC just flies compared to the console. It's going to be like huge leaps once that starts getting utilized.
Well, here's the thing. Since it's based on GPUs that have the GCN architecture, there's no telling what's under the hood, okay, over there. Because remember, everything's proprietary as far as it's not straight off the shelf APUs when you're looking at what they have under the hood at Sony or Microsoft. And as far as Nintendo, that thing's a Frankenstein's monster. There's no telling what that thing's doing too, and if it'll be able to have GCN-like features. So there's no telling if that new API that's coming down the pipe will work for them as well, which would translate into better performance, extending the life of them. So yeah, as far as saying that a PC can, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to you.
Well, I mean, here's the thing for me, is it really. I know this is a weird comparison, but it strikes me kind of like 3DO did in the early '90s. 3DO came out; it was more powerful than Super Nintendo and Genesis, but it was made by multiple different manufacturers. I think Toshiba made one, and Panasonic made one. I think somebody else made one too. But I mean, the point is, everything with Steam machines right now, yeah, Gold Star. Everything with Steam machines right now is pure speculation. I mean, we don't have any hard stats. We don't have any price figures. We don't have anything like that. I mean, from what I've been gathering from the information and digging I've been doing, it seems like Steam machines is really just a streaming box to, say, stream your PC gaming and PC information directly to your television. I mean, it's not going to take over consoles for one very big reason, and that's because there is multiple versions, and they're being produced by different manufacturers, and the average consumer has their head up their ass and can't even figure out basic things. How are they going to be able to determine which Steam box to get? I mean, it's interesting. I would love it to be successful. I would love it to do what we want it to do, but I fear that it's just not going to be where everyone wants it to be. It's not going to be that great.
Technically, you could build a Steam box now. All you got to do is just basically set up a PC, slap on Zorin OS, and call it a day, because a lot of the games that are coming over there out now are going to come to Linux anyway. Done and done.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. I'm not stressing the Steam box so much either. And you know what the funny thing is? Net tops are shrinking in size and increasing in power. So what's to stop anybody from just saying get a net top, slapping Zorin OS or any other flavor of Ubuntu or any other variant of Linux? Doesn't have to necessarily be Debian Linux, and there you go.
You know, as we're on the talk of the Steam box right now, let's stop talking software and start talking hardware. What do you guys think about the controller?
Yuck.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Oh, do you?
Yes. And let me tell you the reason why I like it. Number one, it's not going to be for every type of game, but when it comes to Call of Duty, Battlefield type games, that touchpad on the right is going to be a hell of a lot more accurate than an analog stick any day of the week, because it's going to be pretty much like having a mouse for your thumb.
Right. I mean, those trackpads look amazing, but the button layout looks atrocious. I mean, there's no other way for me to put it.
Yeah,
I can see fighting games being a little bit of a challenge with that controller.
That's what the trusty Xbox controller's for.
Yeah.
Okay, but then again, that would kind of like step on the toes of actually bothering with this one. That's my whole point.
Right.
They went out of their way to sit up here and put all the bells and whistles and those big old gigantic trackpads on it, only to screw up the button layout. Well, at least it's not going to hurt your thumbs. Microsoft.
See? Controller for PC.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I love messing with Microsoft. Don't mind me.
No one's gonna mind you. It's fun, man.
What do y'all think about the Mantle API announcement, though, man? That is some awesome stuff right there. That's going to make it where games, because it's basically a derivative of what they got on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 from what's coming out. So that means that the developers will be able to have some extremely easy coding and porting to do, and that's going to make it where those same games, those same third parties that come out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are going to just soar on PC when it comes to being able to have, optimization and everything. They're going to run way better compared to this last gen when it came to porting.
Marry it to habit physics, and I'll be happy.
Unfortunately, that's what I see it as, basically physics. There's going to be low adoption because the consoles are the lowest common denominator. So you're still going to be limited to what Xbox One and PS4 can do. From what I've been seeing, it's happened pretty much for the last 3 generations. So I don't think it's really going to stop at this point.
It's not. I don't think this next gen is going to be like that on PC.
Even with them still being where the most of the money
is,
is,
then the developers have done it on purpose to be able to keep the consoles relevant. But you know what? DICE has already come out and said within a month or two after Battlefield 4 launches, they're going to put out a patch for Mantle API to make it to where you can run Mantle API instead of DirectX on Battlefield 4.
Yeah, that's really going to upset
EA is in
Microsoft
full support of Mantle, man. They've already put their full support behind it. They're tired of Microsoft just as much as everybody else is.
Yeah, they're not going to like that at all.
Who, Microsoft?
Microsoft and Sony.
Well, they can suck it. Who cares? You know what? There's one forum post I've seen this week that had the perfect starting to the post. It said Mantle API plus SteamOS equals PC gamers giving Microsoft a divorce.
Yep.
Nice. 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 They could keep the kids. Just give us half.
Dude, believe it or not, Microsoft, unlike what AMD is going to do with Mantle, because Mantle is going to be open source, even NVIDIA could use this, right? So it's open source, and it's going to be free to the developers to use. I got that straight from an AMD representative. And unlike what puts that as different to Microsoft is, Microsoft charges for DirectX on anything. Any developer that uses DirectX 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever the hell comes out over the next 10 years, they have to pay to use that as the API in their game. I mean, do you think a developer is going to pay Microsoft to use their API whenever Mantle is 9 times faster and way better and free?
All I gotta say is this, man: the king is dead. Long live the king.
Microsoft has held a monopoly for too damn long. It's about time for something like this to happen. And all it's going to do is going to help gamers.
I got a question about that though. I'm still wondering about the future of this though, because just like Mantle, OpenGL has existed in the same space as DirectX for God knows how long. It's been free all this time, and there really hasn't been any adoption other than, say, 4 consoles, OpenGL, ES, and things of that nature. I really don't see. I mean, it doesn't cost anything for anybody to develop an OpenGL or OpenCL if they create their own engine from scratch.
But
So,
Mantle is more efficient, and that's the key.
Yeah, it's better than OpenGL, and it's made specifically for the hardware. OpenGL is not made for any specific hardware. It's just the language. So you actually have to still use other things to get it to work, including DirectX. Mantle does not need to be even on a Windows-based operating system to work. It doesn't need DirectX 1 bit.
Well, neither does OpenGL for that matter.
yeah, it can run on Linux or Mac.
Exactly.
It's
I
kind of
understand. But what I'm saying is, it's made for the hardware, whereas OpenGL is not really specific to one hardware or.
yeah. You saying it's more low level, say, as like
Yeah, it's
Wii
closer.
and Wii U's API is low level.
Yeah, it's more closer to the hardware level than you would see with.
As AMD puts it, it is the PC version of console programming.
Nasty. All I gotta say is that you said that no longer will Microsoft have a monopoly. God, that makes me want to bust out a nice little thing here, like I wish I wish the monopoly guy did well in prison. I wish I could say that the sisters let the monopoly guy be. I wish I could say that. Yo, I'm telling you right now, Microsoft's about to sit up here and get owned on the PC front, and that's just. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. I've dealt with computers for years. I've dealt with the headaches of DirectX. As a matter of fact, I'm dealing with it now because I was trying to get a classic game on my computer, installed. It's called Spellforce. I've got Spellforce 2 running, but Spellforce 1 won't run because it has a problem with DirectX 9 on Windows 8. Ironic, isn't it? But the thing is, with games now divorcing themselves from DirectX slowly and steadily going towards more open source like OpenCL, OpenGL, for sound OpenAL, and also Mantle. I'm telling you, I could only see this as less of a tech nightmare because every time you have to deal with DirectX, you always have to deal with this specific version is needed. Oh, you need September 28th 97's version or whatever. Come on, who's dealt with that before with DirectX?
Dude, I've got like about 8 or 9 different versions of DirectX on my computer at the same time because each game has its own version of DirectX.
Yep.
And that's annoying. Oh my God, I'm dying to see once and for all for us to set up here and be divorced away from that, and I'll be thankful for it. Thank you, Mantle.
You know what? It wasn't just Mantle that they did. They also announced True Audio, which is their form of open source audio like OpenAL that'll be able to work without DirectX and can run on Linux.
Nice. I'm so happy. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be doing the Snoopy dance. But, okay, all right, so now we pretty much got this all covered over here in the on this front. Shadow, do you got a topic? Shadow? Okay, we'll get back to Shadow. How about you, Zen?
All right. It's gonna be a simple one this week. What do you guys think of, or have you even heard that Shadow of the Eternals is now on hold indefinitely?
That's my answer.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's my answer.
Can't really say it surprises me.
You know, it's a real shame. It had promise. I mean, that first trailer, even though that's
Wait. Did you just say Jedis Dyack and promise in the same sentence? No, he didn't. But hey, I can jump to that conclusion.
I honestly believe Nintendo should just fund this thing so we could just get it already.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, Nintendo should do a lot of things. They should have picked up Atlas, but look what happened with that.
But then again, they can always get Capcom.
Well, here's the peculiar question, though. Why did Nintendo copyright Eternal Darkness all over again a year ago?
That's a good question.
I mean, other than them re-releasing it on Virtual Console, I don't see a reason for them to do it.
Don't they just renew their rights like every so often?
Yeah, but
they tried to do it for Killer Instinct, and that's when we found out Killer Instinct was coming to Xbox because it didn't go through, and then Microsoft was able to pick it up.
Oh yeah, very true, very true. Either way, it's a real shame we won't be getting that game now.
Yeah, I'm buying a console for it. I feel bad already.
Oh Lord.
That one game, literally. Well, we talked about it 2 podcasts ago. But
oh Lord, Django for free! I gotta buy a console for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
let the fanboy wars begin.
I'm actually gonna be a little greedy today. I'm gonna go up with another topic. Is that okay, Quan?
That's fine. Go for it.
Okay. So we've been hearing a lot about this next gen stuff, right? Next gen is around the corner, and this is a question I brought to my subs just a couple days ago, but it seems that as days go along, more and more of these games are not so next gen. You know what I mean?
You think?
Ooh, that 900p.
Yep. With the revelation that Watch Dogs is confirmed to be running in 30 frames per second, the dude they asked didn't even know whether or not that was 720p or 1080p. It goes on and on. Ubisoft's The Crew, 30 frames per second. They're dropping polys in what's the name of this game? Rise. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. So what do you guys think?
I think if they increase the clock rate, it's a lie.
What was that?
Decreasing in polygon counts is on the rise.
Yeah, they increase the clock rate.
I think they're trying too damn hard for graphics. What they already did, what gamers have been asking for the last 3 or 4 years for the next gen is 1080p, 60 frames a second. I find it funny. The only company that's actually doing that for its, for its consumer is Nintendo with the Wii U.
Dun dun dun.
So what Microsoft and Sony need to point out to these developers is we don't have to have 150,000 polygons on one character while the other ones look less beautiful. How about you just make a 1080p 60 frames a second game, and the graphics can look just slightly better than last gen, and gamers will still feel like it's next gen because they're getting the 60 frames per second experience.
Yeah, but how are they going to justify all of the spec wars? How are they going to justify all of that if it doesn't look, just different?
It doesn't matter. You know why? Because Wonderful 101. If you play the game, you'll see why it's next gen. The polygon count is kind of low, maybe, but there are lots of effects and a whole bunch of characters on screen, and it's 720p plus the display. So there's no other console that could do that right now. So
that's another thing that people don't get. Like I said, even Nintendo at 720p. You'd also have to add the additional resolution that you get over there from the gamepad, and what would you get?
Above 720.
There you go.
I've spent a couple of days during the last week arguing with some, let's say, less than intelligent people who are saying that the reason why these games are falling short of definitely next gen, the whole 1080p 60 frames per second argument, is because the devs have to get accustomed to the architecture. I've been trying to argue and beating my head against some walls here, people, trying to tell them that is not the case. Okay?
No, because it's based.
Yeah, it's AMD
Exactly.
64. It's AMD 64. You can't
So,
really.
they swear up and down that in 2 years' time we're gonna get, some massive change.
That may be the case for Wii U because it's different.
Yep. But I don't know what to say to them to convince them, but whatever.
I'll just leave it like this: if all these people that are bitching about, text, talking the specs war, saying my system's got more RAM than your system, all these people that are worried about specs and graphics, they're on the wrong platform. If they want if they want the absolute best graphics and they want the most powerful system, it ain't on console, people.
Hell, it's not even on a commodity PC. It's on a workstation PC. So
Lord.
you need to buy a Fire Pro,
Fire Geo.
Or something that effect, and
it's
render
not
out
like
8K.
that, Fox. Come on now.
I mean, if you just want to truly be anal about it and you want to have daggone 12 gigs of VRAM, then yeah. But nobody's going to do that because, who's developing for that? Nobody.
Exactly my point. But then again, you got idiots out there that insist on pixel counting, so yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Lord, we already know who they all are. They make it more than obvious.
This is why I say next gen is a
Quack, 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 quack.
Quack, quack, quack.
Woo!
Oh, Lord.
DuckTales, man.
Woo!
I sent a certain quacking individual a message earlier this week that was questioning something he said, and since he didn't reply, I'm pretty sure he couldn't give me the answer because he didn't know what he was talking about. So yeah, we'll leave that one alone. I think I mentioned it after the end of the other podcast. It would be really bad if there was a debate anywhere live.
Oh God!
With that foul, that avian individual.
Okay.
YouTube drama.
Oh Lord.
Let's put it this way: if you took a duck and you put a fox in a cage,
what will happen? Yeah.
Oh Lord, feathers will fly.
Very, very predictable outcome.
Feathers will fly. But you know what? Let me tell you something right now, though. Not for nothing. You got to be careful with ducks. They do have spurs.
Yes, they do.
All right. getting back to now my turn to bring up a little something interesting.
I
Two
thought it was
things. What?
Fox's.
Oh, Fox. Fox, we got to get back to Fox. You're right. Fox, what's your topic, man? Because you kind of like fell off for a second there when I was asking you.
Yeah, it was kind of related to that, but I kind of wanted to take it off the whole Wii U thing. It seems like Nintendo seems to be the flavor of the day because everybody likes to hate on them. So,
Free
um,
advertising.
yeah, I was kind of trying to swing the topic more of really Sony's way because I haven't really been seeing anything on the PS4 side. I wanted to know from you guys, what do you see that you're actually interested in for the PS4? Is there a franchise or a launch title that you
Knack!
guys are looking forward to?
Knack!
I mean, I kind of like Knack, but
I like Knack too, ain't gonna lie. I'd be
yeah,
lying if I said I didn't like Knack. That infamous Second Son looks kind of hot.
Yeah, that
that
definitely
that
does.
really had me going. The infamous period, because I one and two of the business, so I don't know. I just kind of want to.
It's Killzone, Shadowfall, Infamous Second Son, and Drive Club. I still want to play Drive Club. I can't even stand how bad I want to play that.
Now here's the question: do you want to play Killzone or do you want to look at Killzone? Because I don't. No, I'm serious because Killzone 1 was decent, real decent. Killzone 2, I didn't really. I don't know. I tried to like it because it looked good, and from there on, I haven't even tried Killzone 3.
There
I
are
heard it
people.
was okay though.
Dude, I've actually got all three on my PlayStation 3, and I like all three of them. And I want to be able to play Killzone Shadowfall. It looks like it's going to be a really fun game to play, and it's still going to be graphically absolutely beautiful.
Well, I got a very late breaking topic that I would like to discuss with you guys. Two things.
Is this This is the YouTube thing?
No. The YouTube thing is for after the podcast. But like I said, though, this is a late breaking topic. But the first one's not so serious. I call this one Beardgate. Why is everybody tripping because I shaved?
Uh-oh.
That's one. But all jokes aside, the serious one. Intelligence Systems staffer lists an unannounced title, Wii U title, on a LinkedIn profile. What is it?
Oh, I was just reading that.
Yeah, baby. Let the speculation begin.
Well, it can't be Smash Brothers.
Fire
That's
Emblem.
technically announced.
Ah, that could be. I was thinking, what if we're getting a Mario RPG?
Well, that would be awesome.
Oh.
That sounds actually more likely than even Fire Emblem, to be honest with you.
Because they already did they're doing a Fire Emblem cost Shin Megami Tensei, so that's coming.
Very true.
So, but what I want to see, though, be honest with you, and I'm going to say this again, okay, Super Mario 3D World's graphics doing an homage to Mario RPG from SNES. Seriously, Nintendo, do that. Make it happen.
Fire.
Make it happen. Oh, my God, that would be awesome sauce. But, yeah.
There might actually be a little bit more credibility to what you're saying there, because the guy who leaked this, let's put it that way, his most recent work was on Paper Mario Sticker Star. So, yeah, so that's an indicator, if anything.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for something like that. And as a matter of fact, if they can get some get different second and first party franchises thrown inside, their little nods to them, kind of like how when you went to the end and you saw Link and then you saw Samus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, those were the days. And remember Coolix when you fought Coolix from Final Fantasy II?
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I'm looking now, and that whole Paper Mario situation might not actually be that bad because out of the three scenarios that it could possibly be, the last couple Paper Mario games have actually sold pretty decent globally. So
Yeah.
it is possible, especially in North America. So I could see them doing another one on the Wii U to get another $2 million out there because it doesn't cost them probably $2 million to make really.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that happening.
Okay. And is there anything anybody wants to touch up on or discuss for the wrap up?
Actually, yeah.
Go for it.
One more topic. Let's see. So, first-party games are carrying an SRP of 55, I think, pounds. So that 55 to 60 pounds. So that converts to 85 to $95 US. So what do you guys think about that?
Mm.
This is
Yeah.
first party PS4 games, by the way. Yeah. So that's what they have them priced at.
Mm.
Not sure if that converts or if that has anything to do with the West,
Well,
but that's scary. That's
first
freaking
off,
scary.
UK retailers set their own price. Okay,
Hmm.
it's in America. Now I know EA's come out and said that their next gen titles, are going to start costing $79.99, but I'm not sure that Sony's going to do that with their first party.
I can see first party games starting to go at $65.99 or $64.99 or even $69.99. I can see that happening.
Mm. That's going to be ugly.
Mhm.
Well, we're paying that now if you include DLC.
This is true.
Well, hey Quan, if we can get the full game at launch the way it used to be, but pay this price, I would have nothing to say. Unfortunately, we all know that's not the case.
Of
Well, now
course
you
not.
get to pay $80 and pay for DLC.
DLC is never going to go
I
away.
want to talk about DLC. This weekend, I picked up this game right here. All right, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 for PS3. Picked it up used. I had to buy a $9.99 freaking online pass for this son of a bitch.
What?
All right, this version doesn't have an online pass. So
No,
I'm
it does not.
Namco, what the hell are you putting online passes on a fighting game for? Never in a history has there ever been an online pass for a damn fighting game.
I thought Street Fighter did something similar with a whole bunch of DLC and other crap.
No.
But they didn't block you from playing online though.
Oh.
That's why you should have got it for this system.
Shots fired!
I had it, hey, Starman, I had it on my Wii U.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Not to bring back that subject up, but I will be getting another. Pretty soon.
Nate, come on, man. You gotta admit that burn. That was some burn.
Sorry, I had to do it. I was looking at it while you pulled that out. I had to do it.
Oh Lord.
Uh,
Oh man, got you good. Yo. I know. A little healthy ribbing never hurt anybody. So let me see.
You're right,
Before,
but it's they
I'd like,
bring
to know, though, I'd like to know why. Hey, Jamie, what is the signature count up to on the petition?
Good question. Give me a second to go check.
odds are people ain't signing because people want to sit up here and keep things, keep it the status quo, and I wouldn't want to do that personally. I want to change.
Yeah, I haven't really been promoting it myself, but we've got 40 signatures.
40 signatures.
Yeah, I mean, you guys actually have audiences, so, I mean, pimp it out there. Just make a mention and give a link at your YouTube videos.
Awesome.
Yeah, that petition needs help.
I mean, is
Okay.
it wants to ask
Okay.
60 more people to sign the petition? We're not saying that we want open game on kids. We're just wanting it to be able to have it where
Adult to adult communication should be open.
exactly.
This is a petition for the Wii U what you call it? The Miiverse?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Adult to adult communication should be open, is what we're saying, Starman.
All right, I'm gonna be sure to mention that petition in my next video. That's not good.
But you know what the thing is? These same people will end up complaining sooner or later if something happens with them. But they're quick to mock somebody who has something happen to themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people.
Are you saying that any message on Miiverse is subject to censorship?
Subject to censorship. Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is. Yeah.
But it's not 100% guaranteed, right? Because I've got a couple of messages I've sent to individuals, and they clearly weren't censored, but they were literally like from one person to another person. It's part of the
Here's the thing,
messages.
Fox. You can't put your social media contacts such as Twitter,
Your mic.
Facebook. You can't put your social media contacts such as Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus inside your profile. I've already called Nintendo quite a few times and told them, look, if we put it in our profile, then make it where we have to click only 18 and up can view our profile. But don't just restrict my profile just because you think that that's considered personal information.
That's hypocritical because the messaging system, the messages and notifications app in Wii U, it plugs the YouTube channel, it plugs the Twitter channel for Nintendo of America. They also plug it on Miiverse. So if they
I
can do
know
it, why
that.
can't we?
I know that. That's the thing. There is a huge amount of double standard going on with Nintendo, and it needs to stop.
Well,
Yep.
they're doing this. What is this? A certified crap where they're saying that you can add videos and stuff like that if you become a certified user or something like that on Miiverse. I
Yeah,
don't
and the
remember the
people that can
details
become
about
certified user is developers, publishers, and Nintendo people that work at Nintendo and have permission.
that. Wow.
Didn't Nintendo enforce and then quickly renege on a rule that they had, I believe, 12 users 12 years and under could not use the Miiverse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to
What's the
pay a
status
dollar
of
to
that?
add them. You had to pay a dollar to add them, and then they can use Miiverse, but they can't add friends. I know that personally because my 12-year-old is waiting until he turns 13.
Oh, okay, okay, all
All
right.
right. Real quick, before we get ready to wrap it up, I wanted to bring up a little bit of an indie title. You know what I'm saying, to everybody's attention. Okay. There was an old anime that came out on Nickelodeon years back called The Mysterious Cities of Gold. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I've heard the name before.
Okay. Well, if you go over there to Nintendo Live, they're showing a documentary. There's a link to a documentary. It talks about how they're basically showing the secret path, the paths to the mysterious city of gold. And basically, this project is going to bring out a full-blown RPG slash adventure game for 3DS as well as Wii U, based on this particular franchise. So I want you guys to check it out if you get the chance. All right.
Will do.
Okay.
That needs a lot of attention because I'm telling you right now, the artwork is beautiful. The artwork is absolutely magnificent. It's definitely worth a mention. If you guys know any projects before we do a sign out, a game that you're looking at, an indie title, something that you know is coming to the eShop, or something that's coming to Sony or Microsoft Store, whatever that you want, attention brought to, go for it now.
I'll tell you what I want. I want Nintendo to get some studios together that do games like what Sony does with some of their studios. Meaning, I want Nintendo to start putting out some mature titles so that it entices third party to put mature titles on the system.
Oh, that's cool and all, but I was talking about an actual indie title that's coming out.
I guess no one got nothing.
No one got nothing?
I can't really think of any right now.
Well, hey, what about Mighty Number 9?
There you go, Mighty Number 9.
Forgot about that.
It's already reached. Let's see here. Let's check its latest total. Actually,
Yeah, that's funded to high heaven.
Mighty.
Everything is getting that. Every single system, platform.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Not enough to do
I
both.
don't think it's hit. Has it hit the? It hasn't hit PlayStation 4, Xbox One total yet.
Hasn't it?
No, it's at 2,960,287 right now.
Okay.
Let me check the chart. It is all right. So it got the So it got the Beck and Call co-op challenge mode just recently. We also got the intro stage and boss. All right. PS4 and Xbox One don't get it until it hits 3.3 million.
Has the 3DS Vita stretch goal been met?
No.
No. Okay.
Why the hell would they put 3DS version at 3.5? That should be included with the freaking
I think
system.
they're banking on the massive install base to hear about it and fund it. Yeah.
All right, then. Okay, so we got Mighty Number 9 covered. How about Cryamore? Cryamore is another project that I'm looking at that's like a nod at Seiken Densetsu slash Secret of Mana. It's a nod at Chrono Trigger. It's a nod at all the classics like, Lufia and whatnot.
Yes, there's also a Hat in Time, which is like Wind Waker meets like 3 other awesome old school games.
There you go. Any?
Let's see. Another one actually that really interested me, and I had emailed the developer, and they agreed to actually send me an advanced copy to review for Player Essence. But Scram Kitty and his buddy on Rails. Have you actually looked
Ooh,
at real gameplay footage of that thing?
that looks interesting.
It does, because I mean, it looks like Radiant Silvergun meets Gunstar Heroes meets Bungayo, and it looks phenomenal to me.
Okay, that looks interesting. All right, then. Anybody else?
I've got one.
Go for it.
How about somebody try to fund Project Offset?
Project Offset.
I don't think anybody remembers that. That was
Project Offset. Project Offset.
that was supposed to be the next gen, the new next gen RPG first person engine that was being developed for PC and theoretically PS3 and Xbox 360. And it was showing all this new volumetric lighting and all that other kind of stuff, and they kind of quietly went away. They Red Studios made it to create this MMO called Firefall a long time ago. Never heard of it after that. And they quickly said they're no longer using the engine, and that was that. It was showcased on G4 a lot for whatever reason. Like, I guess because the graphics look good. That's usually what only reason they try to promote anything. But yeah, it kind of came and went like right under the radar. So yeah. Yeah, do a little Google search for Project Offset. You probably see a lot of videos for it, and then after that, nothing.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there's always SteamWorld Dig sequel coming out for the 3DS. It's in development. SteamWorld was for the 3DS, by the way. It's for the eShop. It's a very decent title. It's kind of like
SteamWorld.
Terraria. It's like a Terraria, but for the 3DS. But it's not multiplayer. It's single player, but it was very decent.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Speaking of Terraria, that's one game also I would recommend for you guys. If you guys play, indie games on PC, Terraria is definitely one that you should give a good look at. It's a very decent
Terraria is
game.
on Steam, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have a copy myself, so yeah. Well, I guess we're going to call it a wrap for the podcast. And you know what? I'm thinking about making it a regular thing for us to come up with obscure games / indie games to mention at the end of the podcast. That way it can kind of bring awareness out to different games. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
And do something different. Yeah, because I mean, you don't hardly hear anything about a lot of these indie titles. They don't get enough attention, and I think that maybe this would be a good way for them to get attention.
I agree.
All right, we're gonna get ready to do the sign-offs then, everybody. We're gonna start all the way on from the left. Our guest, hopefully permanent guest, Christopher. How you pronounce your last name? Starman. Starman. Okay, Starman's AFK. All right, sign off for Jamie Butterworth then.
Alright, as always, I am Jamie Butterworth, and this is where I pimp up my books, Superpowered. You can find it on Amazon.com, soon to be on Nook and iBooks.
Okay, speaking of Nook, the Tanuki is about to go next. Hopefully, if he's not AFK.
I'm here. As
No,
Best
always,
segue
guys,
ever.
keep it gaming. Gamers unite. And yes, I did it for the Tanuki.
All right, and up next we got Shadow Fox, Tobias Swan giving his sign off.
All right, this is Shadow Fox. You know who I am, purevideogames.net, and as I should be saying all the time now, are you gaming to have fun or to impress other people?
Okay, and now we got the Zen Gamer, Nintendo.
Yep. And we out of here. Stay awesome. Check out the Zen Gamer Zone. Shameless plug for the win.
Speaking of
Deuces.
shameless plugs, don't forget to plug each other, blah, 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 blah. Nothing
Yep.
wrong with a little cross advertising. And let's see if we got Mr. Starman back. Starman. Oh, Starman.
Man down.
Man down. Man down. Okay, then we'll just
Sorry,
say
guys, I'm here. What happened?
we're trying to sign off, dude.
Alright.
We
Well-
want you to sign off.
This has definitely been great, and can't wait for episode 6.
Okay. And well, now it's my turn to sign off. It's been Quan Lenchu. It's been Rail. We've been doing and doing what we got to do and all that other good stuff right there. And like I always say, whatever's clever, have a nice evening, everybody.
Peace all.
Peace.
Out.